how to, do very basic things. Now, um, while we're going through this, there are going to be some items that um, I don't want to say the word advanced, but you might require, it might require some technical skills, but it's not that bad. And real quick, just real quick
No lo otro, lo
slide
otro, lo otro.
about who I am and why I'm doing this. So I have 10 years in the tax industry. I was the chief revenue officer at Latino Tax Pro. Um, they're one of the largest CE providers in the country. And I led their learning management system platform that they're currently using. So I helped build that and connected and integrated in the co-brands. And then I was part of the ATAX franchise as the growth director there, um, working with John Hewitt with 125 offices at that time. And throughout those past 9 years, I was always helping tax pros connect and automate um, their systems that they had. And I was always kind of duct taping things together and using this and using that and just making it work with what we had. And August of 2025, I started the Connecta software. It started off as an accident and feature by feature, and it became what it is today. And part of different startup programs there on the bottom. So from August to today, we have 200 users, around 20,000 taxpayers in there, and 2,000 small business contacts on the platform. Okay, so we're going to be using ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and a few other different AIs. And it really breaks down into these 4 different steps here. One is going to be find the businesses and then getting the data, organizing that data, and then building a campaign around it. And before I get into the first step, um, if maybe we could have 2 or 3 people here in the audience, have you used AI before, and maybe give us, an example of how you used it in the past?
I have.
Yeah, cool, Pat. And how have you used it?
I use it to help me write my blogs for mainly is what I do with it.
Okay. Um, and how is that process?
How's it what?
How's that process when it writes the blogs for you?
I start with a subject. I I tell it I want 200 words out of it. Um, it brings something up and then I go down to the bottom and refine it. I tell it to do something else until I get what I want.
Um,
And
okay,
then
so mhm.
I take the blog and post it numerous places.
And is that one of those AIs that I had on the screen, or is it some software?
It's Chat GPT.
Okay. Um, anyone else on here has used AI before in the past, either for work or for fun to
GPT,
kill the
if
time?
you mean not that Patrick said it, I mean, I thought you were talking about one of those different type of AI, but ChatGPT, yes.
Okay.
I haven't used it for any type of advertising or anything like that. I've used ChatGPT basically to respond to emails nicely.
Mm-hmm.
So that has worked. He had to not
Yeah.
to get in my feelings. So that has basically worked out. Sorry, there goes my camera. Went back on. It has helped me actually, to be honest with you. It has helped me out a lot because I get my point across without the emotion. So, and I prompt it, like Patrick said at the end. If I don't like what it's saying, I tell okay, be softer, be nicer, um, be firmer. So those prompts have helped me. Curse them out, no. Curse them out politically correct. I mean, but it's great. I love ChatGPT, by the way. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's great. And I think everybody starts off with that about with writing emails.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In the chat here, we have financial analysis and marketing, and then commercial insurance, quote, upsells and cross sells, and he uses Claude. Okay. So I started off with emails kind of very similar too, and then started noticing that you could use it for a lot of different things. And um, I use them all and I have a subscription for all of them, but ChatGPT is usually it's the starting point. Okay, and just so quick tools and a terminology here. And what I have there for the different AIs are the ways that I've used them before and what they're good at and what they're not good at. So what I've noticed with ChatGPT is it's the best overall. It's good for different tasks, and it's really great for brainstorming and just going back and forth and solidifying your ideas. Um, Codex, that one's good for technical work. Now, um, has anybody heard of that one before?
No.
Oh,
No. Okay. So what Codex is, it's the more technical chat GPT. And that's the one that we're going to be using a pretty good amount today. And that's probably the one that I use the most. Gemini, that one's Google's AI.
I'm sorry.
And
What's the name? Code X?
yeah.
CODEX?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Code X.
Yeah, Codex. Yeah. That one started off first for more for developers and coding. And depending on what you're trying to do, then Gemini might be a good option there. And then I've noticed with Claude, it has gotten really good at marketing and writing. And this is from months and years of use. And some words that you might hear as you start doing more. Yeah, well, thanks for joining us here. The prompt, that's how you communicate with AIs. That's kind of how you give it instructions. It's different ways that you talk to them here. And let me do this. All right. And you might hear a word called COLI. And that's one of those technical terms. And I'm going to show you how that looks in a little bit too. And once you start really, really getting into this, skills is another one. And what that is, it's imagine putting in multiple prompts into one. So if you have maybe like a 3-step workflow and you don't want to give the AI to do one step at a time, you could create a skill of those 3 different steps and it'll do it a lot faster, a lot more efficient, and won't use up tokens. And we're not really going to use that today, but I wanted to mention it because if you do start using AI a lot for multiple workflows, that's going to come in really handy. Are there any questions or comments about this here?
Hello, Alberto.
Yeah, hi Anna.
Hi. I have a questions
Mm-hmm.
about all these other applications, Codex, Gemini. I have only used ChatGPT, so if you could explain a little more to me what Codex and what is it
Mhm.
that they do?
Yeah, well, so they're all really the same. They're all what's called the large language model that they think about what the next word is going to be to help answer your to help answer whatever you're asking it. But um, Codex is more very technical. So if you're doing something with a lot of math or um, that involves a lot of data, right?
Oh, okay.
So for bookkeeping, right? Maybe you have your clients' um, bank statements in a PDF. Codex could get them from the PDF and put them in an Excel sheet and then start creating different models and graphs and create a P&L and find different insights.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah. And then with Gemini, I like that one because it's connected to Google. So it could have more info on what search, or maybe you want your website to rank higher on Google. And that's where you could ask Gemini because it knows what Google's searching for.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Claude is another one like ChatGPT where it's good for multiple reasons. Um, okay. So
Thank you.
here and what we'll do here is we'll use an example from someone here in the audience. What city is everybody in? And we'll start getting a list of small businesses in that city. Okay, we got Santa Ana, Kirkland, Washington, New York, Tampa. Um, okay, actually, Cincinnati, Ohio. I don't think I've ever done anything in that city, so that'll be a good test, a good example. Um, huh. Jose Eugenio, you're in Tijuana, San Diego. Yeah, I'm in Tijuana too. Um, all right, so we'll do Cincinnati, but what we're gonna do, you're gonna be able to do it for any city. Okay, so usually I always start off with ChatGPT first, and um, right here you could put different ways for it to think. Instant, it gives you the answer right away. Thinking, it actually thinks a little bit and gives you a better answer. I wouldn't use Pro. It takes way too long unless it's something super complicated. So we could just leave it at thinking. And we're gonna do Cincinnati, Ohio.
We
And
don't see your screen, Beto. I don't know if you
oh,
want to share your screen, but we're not seeing your screen if that's what you want us to see.
uh,
So you see
thanks.
me lost. I'm like, okay. So you
I'm
want us to
seeing
open
the
up a check?
screen.
I
You
can
see
see
the
it
screen?
too.
I
Yes.
don't see a
we
screen.
see a black screen.
Okay,
Yeah, we see.
but I think everybody should be able to see it now. Does everybody see the Chat GPT screen?
Yes.
Oh, I
It's
see
just
it
that
now. Okay.
it's black.
Yeah.
The screen is
Okay.
black.
Yeah. I have it in dark mode.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's always good to kind of just go back and forth with Chat GPT, and so we're gonna tell it, so I want to create a list of um, small business owners. And when I talk to these AI, sometimes I type so fast that there's just so many typos, and I don't even worry about fixing it because it's gonna learn how you communicate, and the more you use it, the more it'll get used to how you talk to it. Um, so I want to create a list of small business owners that um, I could reach out to, and offer, bookkeeping, payroll, and other similar services. And right now, we're not telling it to create a template. We're not telling it to search. We're just telling it what we're thinking of doing. And okay, so yeah, it's saying, all right, well, okay, this is how it could help you out. If you have time, and then it tells you different categories that you can start searching for. And it even says, okay, well, maybe you want to create a Google Sheet, and these are the fields that you want to start getting. And it wrote a whole bunch of stuff, but for the sake of time here, we'll just continue and put, okay, so can you create me a detailed, and then depending if you use Microsoft or if you use Google Workspace, you could tell it to create you an Excel file, or you could tell it to create you a Google Sheets. So I'm using Google Sheets. So can you create me a detailed CSV that I could use as a template? And it's going to create it, and then you'll be able to download it and upload it wherever you want to upload it. But I have this one that it already created for us. So there's a whole bunch of different fields here. And there's a scoring guide and different prompts for this whole process that we're going to do. And I'll share this with everybody too after the call. Okay, so now we have this. And on ChatGPT, you see how it says Codex over here on the left?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the one that we want to use for the next step, because now we actually want to go online and start getting actual data. ChatGPT is able to do it, but it's going to take forever, and it's just not built for that. But Codex is. And there's two different types of Codex. Well, three really. There's one if you have a Mac, there's one for PC, and then there's one that developers use. So I'll show you this. This is that CLI thing I was saying. And this is for coding, and also where you could talk to Codex. But seems it doesn't want to work on here. But what we could do too is, this is the Codex app. So see how it looks very similar to ChatGPT?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But it's using the Codex brain or the Codex model. And this one's much more user-friendly, and it has those technical capabilities, and it's connected to your computer.
I'm sorry. So what's the difference then between this and ChatGPT? This gives you like a coding. I didn't get it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this one could do anything that you could do on your computer.
Meaning what?
ChatGPT is it's just online. So a good way of explaining it is, this one could go into your actual computer files. This one could control your browser.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, the other one can't.
Okay.
Yeah. So
This is for coding, what you guys, for like software development, coding, or I don't want to use software development, but I guess.
well, yeah. That's
Right?
how it
Okay.
started. That's how it
That's how it
started.
started.
But now they're going more towards helping you with your day-to-day work stuff. So like you could tell it, hey, go through my emails and find, leads that I haven't responded to, and it'll
Oh,
go through it. Yeah. But
okay.
in this case, we want to copy the link of the Google Sheet. And then again, we're going to tell it what to do. So um, I'm getting a list of, and we'll just do construction contractors. And you could do anything. Construction contractors, salons, barbers, whatever small businesses that you're going after. Um, yeah, I'm just doing construction contractors because that's what I've seen the most. Construction contractors in, I'm probably going to misspell this, in Cincinnati, Ohio, that I could reach out to and offer my small business services. And again, we want to, the more detailed and the more information you could give it, the better response that it'll give you back. So, like, tell it what services you offer and also tell it what tools you already use. And you could even tell it what kind of construction contractors. Maybe you have more electricians, maybe you have more plumbers or whatever. Like small business services, but for this one, we'll just keep it general. Payroll, uh, tax advisory, and uh, basic HR stuff. And so please find some online and fill this out. And we're going to tell it to just get us, we'll tell it to start with 5. So with 5 rows, you could, you could theoretically tell it to find 100, but you just want to be a little bit careful because Google doesn't like it when you know, use their stuff and scrape it. So you don't want to do so many at one time. Um, so 5 is a good starting point. Fill this out with 5 rows, and then give it that, and then we'll tell it to use. See, so I'm telling it now, okay, and use my Chrome browser. ChatGPT can't do that. And okay, so now it's gonna go and it's gonna start doing it. Um, if you have a Mac, it's gonna look a little bit different, but they also have the same one for Macs. And even if you have the free ChatGPT account, you're still able to download this and use it. The only thing is, if you have the free one, they limit you based on tokens, and tokens are just like how many words and things that it does. So maybe after like 10, 15, 20 minutes of using it, it'll stop and you'll have to wait a while till you could use it again. Yeah, but watch it. So right here we're saying, okay, I'm going to use the Google Sheet and the Chrome, and it's going to start inspecting it. It has the headers, and yeah, it's going to start searching. So while this thing's going through here, we'll go back here. So like anybody, what sort of small business clients do you have the most of? Is it construction? Is it other industries, like like you, Anna, your business clients, what are they all different? Oh, I think you're muted. But from what I've seen with the Conecta users, most of them are construction clients. But yours might be a little bit different. And okay, all right. So, all right, this thing's doing it, and you see how I only told it to do five. So if you tell it to do 10, do 20, it's gonna take even longer. Uh, WC and GL. What's that, Jess?
It's workers' compensation and general liability.
Oh,
So
okay.
obviously, I focus mainly on the insurance side.
Hmm. Yeah. Oh, I'm pretty sure you could use this stuff too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, what do you usually use Claude for, Jess?
So I use it to scrape my carriers. So for example, I'll say, "Hey, run me a comparison between Progressive and Geico. The client is a doctor, and he lives in this city. He needs a $2 million general liability. He's got 5 employees. So run me a workers' compensation." And then I just let it do its thing. And then once it compares the rates, then I'll say, okay, write me a nice email comparison, a nice proposal on Outlook. So I get a very clean, good looking proposal. And if the client prefers it in Spanish, then I'll say translate it to Espanol. So something that I used to take me hours, I can do it within 2, 3 minutes.
Why?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So for me, it's efficiency.
Yeah, you're right.
Um, and look,
You
here's a
got
good
it down
example.
upstate. This guy's
So
horrible.
Google Chrome
This guy's horrible.
blocked me here from using it because it probably saw some unusual activity, but Codex was still able to get the information. Um, and that's with me only giving it five. And you're able to see up here also which of your Chrome tabs are being used by the AI. And Claude also has a desktop computer one that you could use. So you could always use the web browser one or use the one that's on your computer. Yeah. All right, cool. Thanks for joining, Jess. Uh, all right, cool. So it got those five. It'll take like 5 more minutes here. Actually, oh, all right, cool. So it's saying it's in. Let's check it out. Um, all right, so it went and it got these 5 rows. So it got these 5 different businesses here. Perry Contracting Inc., Edwards Construction, Cincinnati Construction. It tells you what trade, what niche they're in, the city, what's their website, what's their Google link, their phone number, their email, and this one didn't. Oh, I found one owner,
I'm
and
sorry. And what was your prompt again? I'm sorry, Beto, to get this
um,
information. Well, what did you ask it to do to give you a list of what? Of contractors? I didn't see it. Oh,
yeah,
let me see it.
this is
A
wait, did
list
you?
of construct. Okay, in
Mhm.
Cincinnati, Ohio, that I could. Okay, reach out. Okay, not for my
Yeah,
regular wording. Got you.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. When you're talking to these AIs, sometimes I imagine them as little kids that want to be helpful
Okay.
and explain it to them how you would explain it to a little kid. Be
Mhm.
very clear, very direct, and give it exactly what you want. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and it's just how you communicate. So there really isn't
Unlike a
any.
child, they will
Yeah,
respond. A
exactly.
child doesn't. Okay,
Mhm.
got it. Talk to them
And-
like a child and expect a different result.
exactly. And what's going to happen is after you start using them for a good amount of time, they're going to make mistakes like a child. And then that's when those skills and rules come into play. But um, we could talk about that later because once it makes a mistake, you could create something so that it doesn't make that mistake again. But in this case, let's see what it gave us. So it even found what services they offer and like, yeah, what trucks they have, if they're hiring people. Um,
Wow.
yeah, I got a whole bunch of data. And now you don't need to get all of this data, but the way I think is the more data you have, just the better decisions you're going to be able to make. And right, maybe you don't need some of this right now, but you never know. You might need it in the future if you're talking to them. And so, yeah, there's some empty spots in here. That's fine. And that got us five. So now we could tell it, hey, do it again and get another five, do another five. And,
Mhm.
you could see how many you could get after a while. And this was just for construction contractors, right? You could do it for salons, you could do it for insurance, you could do it for bakeries, you could do it for whatever. Um, and so again, just for time here, we'll leave it at these five. And it didn't get any of these social medias links, but what you could do if you did want to get it is open up another tab and log into your LinkedIn, and then you could tell Codex, hey, I have LinkedIn open on my browser, so use that tab and find the rest of the missing information that's on the sheet.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, and it'll go into your LinkedIn and start searching and um, finding that info. But now, I don't recommend you do that though. And if you do
Why?
do that, uh, tell it to go slow and act like a human because social media platforms don't want AIs on there, right? They want people. So you could get banned, you could get, worst case, they could shut your profile down if they catch you. So, um, but if you do it with Codex and it uses your tab, that's a lot less likely to happen because it's actually using the browser and it's not using, what the computers use. But I still, wouldn't recommend it. If you do want to do that, I would create a fake LinkedIn profile with another email you don't use and then do it that way in case
Michael,
anything
can I ask you a
happens.
question? A
Mhm.
question. Can I use any of these tools and ask them to? Can you give me a list of the people that have searched for bookkeeping services in the last 10 mi in my 10 mile radius or in this zip code? Are they capable?
I don't
Is
know.
it
Let's find out. um,
good one, right? That's a real good one.
yeah. Is it
Okay, let's see.
possible to find um, people who searched like what do you want to ask?
Tax preparation in the zip code. Let's use any zip code. I'll use
We'll,
my zip
we'll
code
we'll
one one
keep
three
it
six seven.
in yeah. Well, we'll keep it
Tax
in
prep.
Cincinnati because if you start switching cities, it's gonna get
Oh, okay. I'm
slower and
sorry. Okay.
because remember that this thing's like a little kid. So once you start making it do different things,
Oh,
it's
okay. It's
gonna
gonna
start
shut down.
messing up. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, yeah. Um, now my first thought with this, it's no, because how is it gonna get it? But let's see. Um, and saying no, you can't. Google Bing don't have that. It's telling you could run Google search ads, and yeah, that's what that's for.
Okay.
Or use SEO tools. retargeting audiences. See, but now how we were talking the other day, Susie, with Anthony about running ads is
Mhm.
now this is a good starting point because we could tell it like, all right, perfect. I was thinking of running, just do uh, Google search ads. Um, what can you help with that? You could even have this thing set up those Google search ads for you. Um, but if you're going to have an AI help you set up Google search ads, what AI do you think would be the best one to help with that?
Gemini? You said Google?
Exactly, right?
Okay.
Gemini is a Google product,
Right.
so it's going to know more about Google search ads than the other ones.
Okay. So that would
Yeah.
be the best. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So thinking in that sense, what would be the better tool would be okay, the Gemini
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. Yeah. All of these AIs are different tools and they're good for different things. Right. So you always want to pick the right tool for the right job. Um, and talking about Gemini, so now imagine you had this and you had 50 rows or you had 100 rows. Right? That's going to be huge. You're not going to know what to do with it. Um, Gemini is built into Google Sheets, so it could help you organize all this data for you too. And where do I have it? uh, and this is that same sheet that I'll share with everybody because a lot of the different prompts and stuff that I'm using are in here
Mhm.
already.
Mhm.
And I think it's this one. So we'll go back to it. And when you're talking to this one, you want to highlight it so that way it only focuses on that, or else it'll start going through all the different tabs. So what I told it here is, okay, format this sheet, um, freeze the rows and, make it clearer, make the text bigger, make it wrap. So it's not really doing anything with the data. It's going to make it so it's easier for us to read and actually look at it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um, again, because you could do this for anything. But like bookkeeping is another good example, right? Imagine you had a whole bunch of bank statements and if you had a client that had 3, 4 different bank accounts and then, you know, 4 times 12, what is that? 48. So you'll have 48 months of data and you could have Gemini set it up in a way that will make it easier for you to understand that. All right, tells you what its plan is. So you could read it and tweak it and go back and forth if you want, or just approve it. And um, it's doing this thing. Um, and now for um, the step of kind of putting all this together. So this codex that we have here, right? It already searched, and then we had it talking about Google search ads and how it could help with that. So again, right, they're little kids, so this little kid's ready to take a nap. If we keep using it in AI terms, it's called hallucinations, where it starts making things up. Um, it just starts making things up. It's gonna give you data that's not real, and it's just bad for everybody. So you want to start a new chat. When you're starting a whole different task, you want to start a new chat so you get a fresh AI. And now what we're going to tell this one is, and I have the prompt in here. it's saying, all right, so I'm building a relationship-driven campaign for local constructions, contractors. Actually, we'll give it this one here. And uh, look at it and create me a 30-day campaign with SMS and emails and phone calls and scripts. So it's going to give you everything that you're going to need to start reaching out to these people. Go ahead and do it. And then you want to give it the sheet. Okay. Now, this step could take a long time, depending on how much data you have. So we only have 5. It shouldn't really take that long. But like when I was doing this before, I think I had like 40 in there, and it took a good amount of time. Um, while this is doing this part, are there any other questions or comments here? Um, so,
How much does it cost? I mean, what are you paying for each one of these?
well, I use it more than this. I'm paying a couple $100 a month, but if you wanted to do this, you could even do it on their free plans. And Codex, their paid plan starts at $20 a month, and that should be enough to do this and actually help you out with some client work too. And like Gemini has their paid plan, but like the one that I was using that's on Google Sheets is already part of the workspace that I have. So if you have Gmail and Sheets and all the Google stuff, you might already have Gemini also.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if this is something that you could see yourself using, I would do the ChatGPT one and download the Codex app that I'm using here. It's just, it's a lot better than the other ones. It's more general, it's faster. And if you're only going to buy one, that's the one that I would recommend you sign up for. All right, cool. So look, it just gave us this 30-day campaign, and let's copy it, and we'll see what it gave us. And we made this thing quick. When you're doing this and you're doing it for reels, in between each step, you want to take a look at it. You want to make sure that it looks okay. On the Google Sheet, you want to check a few of them to make sure that it was actually getting the right website with the right address. You don't have to check all of them, but just check a few of them. And, all right, let's see here. Yeah, so I was on the dark mode one, so that's why it's dark, but scan. And well, oh, that's good enough, whatever. Okay, well, yeah, you see, like I can't really read this, so we could tell Gemini to fix it for us. And that's what's cool about this Codex one. Like I was installing some program on my computer the other day, and I just didn't want to go through all finding out what files it is and actually doing it. And I was all like, well, this thing's connected to my computer, so it could probably do it. And it did. Um, yeah. All right, yeah. So I just told it, can you format this so I could read it? Um, and another just a quick tip here too is if you were to tell it, can you format this without telling it so I could read it, who knows how it's going to format it? It might, format it in some weird way that's going to make it even more unreadable. So you want to tell it what to do, but you also want to tell it what you're trying to do. What's your end goal? Right? So in this one, my end goal is I want to read it and I wanted to format it. And then now we have what, 5 small businesses in our area that are in our niche that we could go and start reaching out to. Like Susie, from your small business clients, are they all random? Are they in a certain industry?
They're all random. Construction, trucking,
Tracking?
grocery store owners. Yeah, they're random. And of course, they're all manual labor work, more or less. I really don't have that many services per se. Yeah, I don't. Now that I think about it, it's all manual labor stuff.
Yeah, all physical labor.
Yeah, physical labor. Yeah.
And actually, and this is probably also a good starting point for everybody watching. Um, right, wherever you have your clients, whether it be your tax clients or your small business clients, you have them on QuickBooks or wherever, download them into an Excel sheet and then upload it to Codex and tell it, hey, what similarities can you find from this file? Because Susie, you just said, oh, they're all random, but you never know. It could probably find something and whatever they're all similar in, then you already know that you're good at that. So then you could use that
Well,
as a starting point to get more clients.
well, the similarity, just so that you know, it has to do with the language barrier. The majority of them are second, third generation and came on here a long time ago. So the knowledge is not really there in the language, the huge language barrier. So that's my niche in holding their hands. And that's why I have clients from different, I guess, different fields.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. And some of you may be thinking too, well, I don't want to give all my customer info to these AIs. So
Yeah.
yeah. So what you could do too before have it analyze your customer list is
Mhm.
delete the emails and delete the phone numbers, delete the names, and maybe just leave some of the addresses or delete the PII, delete whatever you don't want the AIs to be able to see, and just give it enough to be able to help you out.
Got you, because this AI stuff, they'll keep it there, right? And if anybody, as time grows, this information is going to be basically shared, right? Am I right or am I wrong on this?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's all already shared anyways because the information that we just got right now, we got it. It's public, right? It's not like we logged in and got it anywhere. Like so, a lot of it is already out there, but when we're dealing with EIN numbers and socials.
Yeah, that's what I mean, like stuff like that. Like make sure we remove that from those lists because that could be okay. Listen, I have no clue about that. Okay, with this AI stuff.
And then that's a good point too, Susie, because I gotta double check, but when I was starting Connecta back in August, I don't think the IRS has any guidance on PII and AIs. So it's a big gray area right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Cool. So it cleaned it up, and yeah, look how many different SMS messages it got us. This one saying, hey, I stopped by briefly yesterday and left my info. I want to learn a little bit more about your business. Um, you know, I work with local contractors and small business owners around bookkeeping, payroll. I was nearby and wanted to introduce myself in person. Oh yeah, because I skipped one of the items here, but let's see if we could do it real quick. If you get their address, this one doesn't have it, but I think it's this one. If you get their address, you could ask the actual Google one to create a route using Google Maps so that you could visit all the offices in the shortest amount of time. Wow. This one doesn't have it. Is it in this one? Yeah, here it is. Okay, so this one got us 9. So we'll copy all the addresses. And Google search has an AI mode too. So you want to tell it where you're starting from. So I'm starting, and these are San Diego offices that I was working with the other day. So I'm starting in 601 East Palomar Street and Chula Vista. And I want to visit all these locations. Can you create a route for me on Google Maps? And okay, so it created this thing. And sometimes with these AIs, I don't know what it is, but they give you something you're not asking for. And sometimes they'll tell you that they can't do it, but they can. So you just got to tell them, like, no, this is what I want. So give me this. So I want it as a route on Google Maps so I could drive with it. All right. So now it's saying here it is. There's no link. So again, they're like little kids sometimes that just mess with you. And you gotta keep asking them for it and what's going on. And sometimes you'll get a chat that just doesn't want to work. So then you'll have to end it and start a new one. Yeah, like this one. This one's not doing it. This is the one that I did yesterday. And see, this one gave me the link here. So you'll have to fight with it a little bit, especially that Google one, since it's a free one, right? Maybe because it's 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, it's getting used a lot right now. And, it's not as good as when I did this at midnight. But now you have a route, the most efficient route, so you could visit all of these offices and, right, maybe leave them something, some business cards or a flyer, I don't know, bake some cupcakes or something and just spend a day and visit all of those offices, visit all the offices, right? Most, maybe they'll be there, maybe they won't, but you could leave something. And then you have these different messages that you could start sending them out. Okay, I went to go visit you the other day, but you weren't there and I left this. And this is just with 5 businesses. Now that you have this, the rest of it, it's going to be just keep feeding the machine, just keep feeding it with this data here, right? You already have the campaigns, you have the messaging. You just need more volume. More volume, right? Not everyone's going to say yes, right? Some people are going to unsubscribe, whatever. That's just how it is. Right? But all it takes is one. And you got an S corp return that's $2,000, or depending on what you're doing, right? It could be more, it could be 2, 5, 10,000. I used to do this manually, and it would literally take me like 4, 5, 6 days of getting all the data, doing all the Excel work manually, searching their websites and getting all the stuff. So something that used to take me 4 or 5 days, took an hour. Well, yeah, okay, and then perfect. So this took an hour. I'm going to send this template out to everybody, and on one of the tabs there on the bottom is this one called AI prompts. I'll clean it up before I send it, but it has exactly what I used during this, so you could just copy and paste it. And again, I would recommend to do ChatGPT. You could even start on the free one and see how far it takes you. And you have Codex here on the left. And this is where you could download it for Windows, or if you have a Mac, it'll say download for Mac. And again, try the free one, see if it does the whole thing, perfect. If not, it's going to tell you, hey, I ran out of tokens. You could either upgrade or wait. Usually you have to wait like 5 hours before you could use it again. Or you could buy the $10, $15 tokens, or the $20 plan for the month. And again, right, we're investing $20 and it's going to save you hours and hours. And this is just one example. It's on your computer. So whenever you're doing something tedious, right, maybe this thing could do it for you. Yeah, so this is what we went through. Yeah, and then some things too, don't completely trust them all the time. Again, there's that thing called hallucinations where they sound confident and it's just completely made up. So you always want to spot check things. And don't use a chat for different tasks. Always start a fresh chat so there's less likely chance of that happening. Yeah, the address part. And yeah, that's how I would say, start small, how we just did it with 5. Once you get in the flow of doing those 5, all right, you can start bumping it up to getting 10, getting 20, 50, and then do different industries. And yeah, depending on your city size, you could keep this going for a while. Are there any questions, comments? I hope this hour was useful.
Yeah, thanks for showing us this. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thanks, Pat. And I know you're pretty good with technology, Pat. So I'm excited to see what you could do with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jose, thanks. And that maybe you want to do this together. So like I find this kind of stuff fun. And this is how Connecta started. I was just messing around. So, if you want to get on the call with me and see what we could do with AI in your office and your current workflows, you know, I'll be open to do that too.
Thank you, Becca. Thank you for explaining this because people like me are older and I don't understand all this technology stuff. So I think, this is something we need, I think, as tax. I think the older generation, I don't know about the younger ones. I know Anthony, my son knows all this stuff. He knows more than me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's because like if you start looking at YouTube videos and just the way
Mm,
other people talk about it, they make it sound so complicated, but it's not. It's just being clear, being direct, and knowing what your goals and objectives are.
mhm.
Yeah. All right. Well, no, thanks everybody. I don't want to take more of your time. I'll send over that Google Sheet template that I have and these slides. And I'm going to be doing more of these in the future with different parts of different workflows. So, stay tuned for that.
All right. Thank you. I have to go now. Bye.
Thanks. All right. Well, all right. Awesome. Thanks again, everybody.